Being sued for listing photos. Hello all. Looking for general advice and idea on how to handle this. My new assistant used MLS photos from a sold listing to post on Facebook. Congratulations to our buyers on their new home. The photos were on Facebook for a day before I noticed and had them removed. Now I'm getting sued by the listing agent for $9,000. $9,000 for less than 24 hours of a single Facebook post. I thought about reaching out to their broker and seeing if we can come to a solution outside of court. What would you do in this situation? Edit: the listing agent was the photographer and owns the photos. This is in Texas. Have you actually been served with a lawsuit, or did you just get a letter demanding payment? ETA, do not listen to advice here telling you to ignore and see what happens. Several possible good strategies here, and that's not one of them. The listing agent here is a miserable pig. IAAL, Bional. Business litigation. 35 years. 50 complex federal court work, including RICO, class action PD, mass tort D, contracts, closely held disputes, etc. Bluster move. Looking for nuisance pocket change. Easiest? Hire a good business lawyer to draft a letter response follow up for a flat fee or hourly billing cap with direction to convey pounded sand. Billing rates vary widely depending on the locale. I would look into this more. Research who owns the pictures, hopefully without alerting the photographer. I have had 2 different photographers tell me that the agents, even though we pay for them, do not own the pictures. So they might be suing for property that they don't own. The photographer likely owns the rights, and from the sound of it, she isn't suing you. Sidestep the agent and pay $300 to buy them from the photographer. I've purchased old listing photos and the photographer was happy to sell them again. Best of luck to you. This is disgusting and greedy of them. It was a simple mistake causing them no harm. The world is full of bullies. Have your broker, or you, if you are the broker, reach out to their broker and everybody sit down and have a chat. Your new assistant made a mistake. You took the pic down as soon as you saw an issue. If your brokerage doesn't have a handy lawyer to talk to about stuff like this, you should, by the way. Sounds like this guy needs money and trying to hustle you. Yay, you shouldn't have used them without consent, but likely not gonna get more than the market. Talk to a attorney. Won't hold up against the board. You took them down. It's an agent that will work hard on anything but selling real estate. Did you use them on the MLS for your rental listing? Also, don't sell your assistant down the river. If you direct them to do things, it's on you. This happened to me once. Had an intern making blogs and they used photos they found on Google. Turns out some belonged to an agent at another competing office. Became a huge deal. Brokers had to get involved and ended up being fine once we removed them and apologized. Try to work something out. Just curious. Were you difficult to work with during the purchase? Seems so odd for another agent to do this. The correct answer is kit should be handled broker to broker. Also, if you belong to a board, that is what we pay our dues for. Hopefully your EO will cover it. Lol, I would laugh at getting sued for $9,000. Just take the post down and apologize. These are the types of people that should be doxxed. Is the photographer also suing? They actually own the photos. The other realtor just paid for a temporary license for them. Read the MLS rules. I bet once they loaded them into their system for public view, they signed away ownership. Otherwise, any realtor could be sued for posting a listing. Then see if the buyers will sue for them having pictures of their property on the MLS. Get a copyright infringement lawyer now. Pretty much every comment I've read on here is wildly and absurdly wrong. Get legal advice. Maybe settle with them. You screwed up and need to pay the piper. Not the end of the world. Please stop doing that. In my state, as soon as an image is on the MLS owns the rights to them, not the listing agent. Is your state the same? You need permission to post someone else's photos. The photos are really property if the photographer that the list agent or seller paid a license for. Always ask the list agent for permission to use their photo before posting and get it in writing. In reality, photographers may come back after everyone using their photos improperly and sue the shit out of a lot of people. Don't use other people's marketing material and intellectual property. This is a basic faux pas and it is against the law. That said, talk to your broker. I have a hard time believing a judge will grant them more than the cost of photos. Especially as you took it down and made an offer at market value. Who knows though? There are some wild lawsuits. Woman shrugging. Does your MLS or local association offer mediation? Look into that. It may even be required for members to try mediation before suing. I always take my own photo for just sold posts. Were the images registered? Unlikely, no case. Hilarious to throw the assistant under the bus when it's likely they were just doing exactly what you told them to do. Get off Reddit and consult with a lawyer, especially before you try settling out of court. Make it widely known they're suing you for such a small thing. I wouldn't want to work with that agent as a buyer's agent after that. Maybe they'll drop it. What if I am a lender, insurance, etc. and use listing photos in my ads? Step 1. Call your broker ASAP. Step 2. Shit pants sounds like you started with this step. Rightfully. Step 3. Get ready to learn an expensive lesson. I don't even see a case for damages for the listing photos. They used them. They sold the house. At this point the photos are useless. At best you might run into a disciplinary reprimand from your MLS. Depends if they are the copyright holder or not. If they did not take the photo, they have no claim to the copyright for violation. It is the original photographer's copyright. Unless that copyright was conveyed somehow. I would talk to an attorney that deals with copyright specifically for photography and get prepared to figure things out with them. Looks like the listing agent may have copyright if they took the photos themselves. They are most likely blowing smoke. They would have to claim copyright infringement. That's federal. The costs to even file that would far exceed what they could claim. You are not served until you receive court papers. Don't ignore court papers. But ignore everything else. The court papers will show what they are actually claiming. 1. I doubt that the photos are copyrighted. 2. They have to show damages if it is not a copyrighted. Should have never responded to the email. I'm not a judge, but what are the damages? At worst I would think you'd be sued for the cost of the images. Pulling a number out of a hat doesn't seem like it would fly. Anywhere does it say the photographer's name? As one photographer I used not for long once said he retains the rights to the photos and I was paying to use them. If that's the case, they don't own them either. I feel like people don't like this, but also that they are public photos. Right? Like anyone can look at the MLS or an app and see them. So I don't particularly understand what you're being sued for. But I am no lawyer and have no clue, so that's who you'd have to talk to, unfortunately. Are you a member of the MLS? Are the photos licensed to you there for use, derivative use in some way? I would be curious to see proof that the agent actually owns the rights to the photos. I know a lot of real estate photogs who just don't bother with signing over the rights for each house's photos because it never comes up. Even if the agent paid the photographer for them, it doesn't mean the agent owns the copyright to the photo.